When it comes to keeping animals in captivity, one of the most debated topics is whether they need a lot of space to roam. This issue is particularly relevant when it comes to animals in zoos, aquariums, or even in our own homes as pets. In this video, we will explore the arguments surrounding the need for animals to have ample space and whether or not it is essential for their well-being. Many animal rights activists argue that animals have the innate need to roam freely in their natural habitats. They argue that confining animals to a limited space goes against their natural instincts and disrupts their physical and mental well-being. For instance, large mammals such as elephants, tigers, or lions have extensive territories in the wild. Restricting them to small enclosures can lead to physical deterioration, behavioral issues, and even depression. Advocates for animal rights suggest that animals should only be kept in captivity if it benefits their species conservation or if they are injured or unable to survive in the wild. On the other hand, some experts believe that animals can adapt to a more confined environment as long as their basic needs are met. They argue that providing appropriate enrichment, such as toys, mental stimulation, and social interactions, can compensate for the lack of physical space. For instance, many modern zoos are adopting new enclosure designs that mimic the natural habitat of the animals, allowing them to exhibit natural behaviors and keep them mentally engaged. These experts argue that a large space may not always be necessary as long as the animals have enough mental and physical stimulation. It is also important to consider the type of animal in question when discussing the need for space. Different species have different space requirements based on their evolutionary adaptations and natural behaviors. For instance, birds require large aviaries to fly and maintain their physical health. Similarly, aquatic animals like dolphins or whales need spacious tanks or pools to swim freely. On the other hand, smaller animals such as reptiles or rodents may not require as much space to roam due to their size or more sedentary lifestyles. The argument for providing ample space for animals in captivity also extends to ethical considerations. Keeping animals in cramped conditions raises ethical concerns regarding animal welfare and captivity ethics. Supporters of animal liberation maintain that animals should not be used for human entertainment or commercial gain, which includes keeping them in captivity. They argue that confinement goes against the animal's fundamental rights to freedom and autonomy. Interestingly, recent studies have shown that some animals can adapt better to smaller spaces than others. For example, research conducted on urban wildlife has found that certain species can thrive in urban environments with limited space, rather than struggling to survive in their natural habitats. These studies suggest that some animals may have a greater capacity to adapt to confined spaces than previously thought. In conclusion, the debate over whether animals need a lot of space to roam is a complex one. While it is undeniable that many animals have natural instincts to roam freely and require vast territories in the wild, there is also evidence to suggest that some animals can adapt to smaller spaces as long as their basic needs are met. Providing appropriate enrichment, mimicking natural habitats, and acknowledging the specific requirements of each species are crucial factors in ensuring the well-being of animals in captivity. Ultimately, the ethical considerations surrounding animal rights play a significant role in determining whether animals should be kept in confined spaces or allowed to roam freely.